Hi everyone, and welcome to this video with an update of the period that we have entered into. I've been receiving some messages over the last week about a 4 to 5 week period that we have just entered into. And I want to preface this video by saying that use this kind of information, channeled information, energy readings of all sorts, in a way of empowering yourself. So never try to make your life fit into what someone is saying or something you're reading or watching, but use that information, what resonates from that information, to bring clarity and more awareness to what you're going through and how you can navigate it and get a more deeper understanding of what is going on an energetic level. So never give your power away, but use it in order to get deeper into what you are going through, what you're experiencing, and gain more empowerment from it. That's really important. And that's something that have been making a point about now also. It's to be present with you. So several times during the day, come back to yourself, just shut out the external, take some moments where you just breathe into your body, come back into yourself, and try to be observing yourself and be as present as you can throughout your days. Not worrying about the future, not thinking about the past, just try to be present. That can be very challenging at times, but it's increasingly important to do this. And what they were showing me for this period is that it's sort of a bridge period. So you can envision like a bridge crossing a huge river or a fjord or something. And the bridge is going from the first stage of the Great Awakening until the second stage. And because the first messages I was getting was messages that I have been sharing in previous videos all back to March, and I was asking why are you asking me to share these same messages again? And then they showed me this bridge, and they said that imagine you're having your suitcase, you have your bags, and you're like crossing over from one place to the next one. And there has been a lot of changes, there has been a lot of things we have been asked to let go of. That being belief systems, that being emotions that we have been clearing out. It might be relationships in our life. It might be materialistic things. It might have been a job, but like so many things that we have been asked to let go of. And if there's something that you, in this period that we have been in, have been asked to let go of that you haven't, it might be that it's coming up again. And if it is so, look at your attachment to it. Because if there's something that has been coming up and now is coming up again and really asking you to let go of it, it is time. And attachments and resistance is very important to look at. So they're saying that it's really a period of looking at your attachments and detach from what is no longer for you. Because sometimes we have to clear things out in order to make space for something new. And this is really some of the things that we are doing in this period. They were also mentioning heart openings, which they mentioned 2 months ago, approximately, I think, that we will see a lot of heart openings the rest of the year. And this might come in a positive experience, and it might also well come in a more difficult, challenging experience. For example, having to let go of something we are deeply attached to. That can create a huge heart opening. In the way that we are being like cracked open. And because it's more and more important to come from the heart space, to come from that energy, not the energy of polarization, of duality, of judgment, and coming more into the heart, and more into our own truth, our own resonance, and standing in that, we need more openness in the heart space. And that's something that we might be seeing in this period. They were also reminding me of a message they gave me back in March. And what I said was, can you love the fear? And what they were explaining was that in an interaction, for example, in a household, and you are with people that have different truths, that look at everything that is going on in a very different way than you, it might be challenging if you are surrounded by a lot of fear and you are really doing the work to try to clear the fear yourself and being aware. And of course there are situations where we can walk out. We don't have to remain in situations that are not good for us. That's very important. So this is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that we will be interacting with people in a lot of fear. And some people, some of us might have days or have an hour where like the fear is like really bubbling up, or more intense periods of this. And if we interact with people that are in fear and we are not resonating with that, if you come into that interaction from an energy of judgment, of belittling them, or trying to convince them because my truth is the right one, this is like, can't you see this? That energy is really on the same frequency almost, and it does not help. It actually perpetuates the same consciousness that we are clearing. So in these types of interactions, can you try to come from a place of love? It doesn't mean that you don't speak your truth. It doesn't mean that you don't share your perspective, but can you do it from an energy of love? Because then it will help melt the fear down. We often look at, because we say higher frequency and we say lower frequency, we have this sort of way of looking at things as stairs, right? We are like, I'm vibrating on a higher energy or a higher frequency than you are, and like, oh my god, they are vibrating on such a high frequency and I will never get there. We're always comparing, we are always like looking at this in a way of better, worse, higher, lower, which is really the polarity. So what we're also saying is that, can you look at this more as a light that is expanding? It is not higher than or lower than, it's not better than or worse than. It simply expands. And the more that light, the more the frequency rises, right? The more the light expands, the further it will reach. within your body, within your own awareness, and also to the people around. So sometimes it can be helpful to look at it in that way instead of the higher and lower, because we often judge either others or ourselves when we look at it in that way. They were also talking about being the truth and speaking the truth, and that's not new for us this year, but we keep being asked to speak our truth and to be our truth, not only to show it in our words, but actually to start living our truth. Also being very aware of which energy we're doing this from. If we are coming into a conversation with like speaking our truth with the energy of I'm right, you're wrong, you have to listen to me, like why can you believe this, like why, then you're actually belittling that person, you're judging that person, and you're shaming the other person, and that does not help in order to open the other person. When we do that, it is very often coming from fear that we might be unaware of. So when you feel yourself doing that, take a look at yourself and see if there are deeper fears that are actually the core of why you are coming at it in that frequency. We are also seeing increased control in the world and a sort of rigidity. What we're saying is that it's also really a period to look at where you are controlling in your life, where you're controlling yourself, where you're trying to control others, where you're trying to control whatever in your life. Because as we know, as within, so without. And instead of fighting the control going on externally, now I don't mean that just accept anything. Of course, this is not what I'm saying. But it can, like, we're being asked to look at where we are controlling. Because when we can release that internal control, it will energetically have an effect on what's going on outside. And you know, areas where you have control issues in your own life, those might be very highlighted the coming weeks. And again, that's when we are asked to look at our attachments. Why do I have the need to control this? What am I actually afraid of? Now I'm being asked to let go of this control. And that sense of coming out of a prison, that sense of opening up can be very scary, and it can, you know, reveal things within yourself and that you can let go of, and then it will open new doors. It will open to a new sense of freedom. So this also is a very good way to really use the energies now to work with this. That will have an effect on the collective. I think I have a small paper with some points because there were so many things. Yes, I think I've been through most of these now. Yes. So for some people it will be a bumpy road. For some people it won't be that much of a bumpy road at all. It really depends on where you are. Not better than or worse than, but it's really like clearing and cleansing attachments opening hearts, being aware of the energy that we are meeting things with, the energy we're coming from when we're speaking our truth, starting to really be our truth, starting to look at where we are controlling. So it's not a repeat of what has been going on, it is a bridge to the next stage. And they said 4 to 5 weeks, and this started coming in the weekend. They also showed me the number 7 several times. I don't know if they were putting my attention to the 7th of November. It's very, very rare that they give me specific dates. And they did not give me clarity on that, but they kept showing me the number 7 when I asked. It was this huge number 7. So I don't really know. I'm putting it out there as it repeatedly came, because it might be it has some sort of a meaning for some of you that are going to watch this. If it doesn't, just leave it. I'm not really sure about what specifically they showed me, but they showed me the 7 several times when they said that this is a 4 to 5 weeks period. So hang in there, be who you are, and go easy on yourself. Have a lot of compassion with yourself and with others that you meet on your way. And I would love to hear from you in the comments, how you're experiencing this and how it resonates. And please feel free to share if you know someone who can have assistance from this video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!